Before I start, you gotta know that I have a long history of sleep paralysis ever since I was a child. I dare say, multiple in a single night. I'm an 18-year-old male, and well, I moved out from my mother's home about 2 years ago, and been independent since then, and have been roommates with my uncle for a couple months now. But that's a different story. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit awkward given the fact that I was listening to scary stories while trying to fall back asleep after waking up at 5 a.m. The same date I'm writing this post, September 25th, 2018. While I was falling asleep, I had my headphones on. I started to realize I had woken up, but my body couldn't move. Now, it was weird for me, given the fact that I hadn't had any sleep paralysis for a very long time, but I knew what I was going through. My vision started to blur, my head felt heavy, but I could still hear the voice coming out of my headphones narrating a story. The strangest thing is, I somehow managed to move my hand and tried to take my earbuds off. As much as I tried, I couldn't take them off. It's as if they were glued to my ears. I somehow managed to take them off, but here's where it got freaky. I could still hear the voice, your voice, Unit 522. I touched my ears and checked if there was anything there. Nothing. I couldn't feel the earbuds at all. I was weirded out, yelling at my uncle, calling his name to see if he could hear me, but there was no answer. Every time I tried to yell, my voice got weak. It's as if, instead of yelling, I was whispering in a loud way. And that's when I started to see things like demons and deformed faces just staring at me and smiling evilly. I can't explain how they looked, but they were flashing in the ceiling. Weird, right? Yeah, I know. As I was sort of freaking out, I literally did what any young kid would do and hid under my blanket. Not because I was scared or frightened for my life, but to see if those faces would go away. And although they did, it doesn't end there. Here's where the most freaky and weird stuff happened. As my vision started to clear, I was able to move more freely. It was then that I realized I never even moved a muscle the whole time. I was going through sleep paralysis. Turns out, I was hallucinating and imagining that I was actually moving and yelling. Like I said, I've had experience with sleep paralysis for a long time, so I totally have experience on how to actually get out of it when it's a normal one, where you're just awake and can't move. Yeah, I know. That's the point of one, but not all of them are about hallucinations and imagining. This is one of the few paralysis events where I hallucinated and imagined things. Like I said, I hadn't had one in about a year. This one is the most recent episode. I know it's probably not that scary, but for those who have had experience with sleep paralysis, you know how terrifying it could be and it can get. It takes a strong mind and a strong soul to get out of one, because you're literally struggling with yourself to be able to move and just come back to reality. For those who never experienced sleep paralysis in their life, I really hope you never do. Thanks for joining us around the campfire. If you enjoyed the story, subscribe below. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified of our new stories as they are posted. If you have a story you'd like to share for narration, submit it via email, and you may be hearing your story next. Our email address is in the description box below. Thank you, and good night.